Oh, that's right, 11:30. Is it off because we're done?
It is 11:30.
It is 11:30. It is 11:30. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm super excited to see everyone here today. Let's start out. Hi, everyone on screen. Can you see me? Hi, Heather Forsberg. I see your face. All right, let's start it out by some bucket fills. Let's fill up the room with some gratitude. I'll go. Yes, Meg.
I am gonna fill Hannah's bucket. Her graphics on our social media page have just been taken up a notch and she's doing really good. So if you guys ever get tagged in one of our photos or something like that, definitely share it to your page. Let other people know. Hannah's your girl for graphics.
Hannah's doing amazing for graphics. It's very good. Yes. Jill Burkhart.
Brooke Boss, I called her yesterday because she gave me some advice on an offer for appraisal gaps, and I honestly, truthfully, did not understand appraisal gaps as much as I should. And so she taught me a little more about it, and our offer won because of her advice.
Nice. Nice. That's awesome. We'd love to hear that. Thank you, Brooke Boss. Fantastic. All right, one more. One more. Who's grateful? Oh, no, we're not. We'll wait.
Holly just led our productivity meeting and it went amazing.
Yes. Holly Stomberg. Thank you, Holly. I heard somebody say something like, it's not the same market.
She got
a little passionate.
Yeah.
Fun part is I thought it was Jen that was saying that. I was like, Jen, love the inspiration, love that.
It's not. It's not. It's not the same market.
Know why it's not the same?
It's never the same. I love the dog. All right. Yes, Adam.
Lisa Duffy was agent on call Saturday and gave me 2.5 hours of her time.
Wow. Thank
was
you,
extraordinary.
Lisa Duffy. That's wonderful. Grateful for that. Awesome. All right. A big, huge welcome to John and Quenisha. I'm not sure if they're here.
Quenisha's online.
Yep.
Hi,
But I
Quenisha.
don't think she can talk to us. She's at work.
Okay. We are just so happy you're here. Let's do a big, huge woohoo. All right. Awesome. And guys, did you know? I know. We just celebrated and passed our 250 mark. And in fact, I think we're above that at this point right now. Are we at 252?
Yep.
We're at 252.
Cool.
252. That's a big deal. Yeah. Holly Stomberg would like us to clap. 1, 2, 3. Nice job, everybody.
Can I just share something funny about this?
Sure.
It's at your expense.
Okay. I love it. That's even better.
When you were like, it's at Jenna's front.
Okay, so we were talking about this and I was like, on Friday, I was like, Jen, we hit 250. And I was like, well, we're actually at 252 now. And she's like, dang, I really wish we could have celebrated 250. And I was like, we still can't.
I'm like, oh no, we're already at 300 now. No, let's forget about it. Yeah. Yeah, one of the gifts that what is that when we say it's a skill that I have not mastered yet? It is a skill that I have not mastered yet is celebrating. And so today we are celebrating that we have passed the 250 mark. So right after this team meeting, there are cupcakes, there are chocolate, GF vegan, nut free, all the things, brownies that I may or may not eat the entire thing of. No, I won't. And please go back and help yourself. Celebrate your all success, because when we all succeed together, we share in that success together through our profit share. You're helping impact people's lives. So thank you. Thank you for all of your referrals, because without your referrals, we couldn't help as many people as we love to do and love to help. And our goal this year, see how I did that? So our goal this year is to bring in 132 agents and impact those families' lives. So if you know of anyone that we could touch, please let Maggie know, and we will track them, we will stay on them, and we will keep you posted on the progress with them. So thank you all. Appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. It's a big deal. Did you know that that's the biggest brokerage in Dakota County? Just saying. Woo! Woo! Y'all are awesome. All right, come on down to Tom's. Just in time.
So mortgage world, they're trying to total roller coaster right now. I don't know if you've noticed that or not.
Yes.
It's like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought we were gonna be in the low sixes this weekend. We're like 7 now, and it was like close to 6.5 on Thursday. So the same thing that's going on in the stock market is going on with mortgage bonds right now.
Well, there you go.
See where we end up. On the good side, we have a new program that I think is gonna help a lot of people. A lot. It's not a first-time home buyer program, but it's aimed for people that are at 80% of that area median income, which is like 80,000. And it's a 1% down. It's gonna be really good. What was the deal? The max loan can be 350. What it really is, it's a 3% down program where there's a grant for the 2% down. So anyone that is under that income limit, down to a 620 credit score, will be able to use this program for.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it household income or?
No, it's not.
You guys write that
Yeah,
down,
it's-
call your friends.
It's
Nan.
not like MHFA, Minnesota Housing, the down payment assistance, it's household income, what's on your tax return. So if we have a couple and one of them makes under 80 grand and they qualify and the other one makes another 80 grand, we can use this program for it. The other caveat is if people have the 3% down, they get a 2-1 buy down instead.
Oh. Okay, how can we get?
Full sentence.
Yeah.
How can we get this information out? Do we have any type of, like a marketing piece that
Not
they?
yet. We're working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we get a marketing piece, everybody, you all can put that everywhere on your social platforms and send it out to your database, because that's very valuable. That would add huge value. If you need help with that,
Hannah.
Tom and I have like split up
yeah.
all of you into, he gets half and I get half, and we're gonna start emailing you more product related stuff on a weekly basis. So we'll get something out hopefully this week.
Is that interest rate higher?
Oh, it's not, that was my,
He just
That was-
holding keys.
that was my first thing. I'm like, all right, there's always a catch. to this
Yeah.
stuff, you know? It might be an 8 higher, like. at
But not a
most.
porter like MHFA.
No,
You're not
no, it's
totally
not.
household income like MHFA. Tom just brought you like the golden ticket to Charlie in the chocolate factory.
It's
He
really
just brought
good.
that on.
I checked the rate on it, because my first thing is, all right, it's gonna be 7.5.
Yeah,
And like last Friday was 6.99 or something like that. So it was maybe slightly above, the market rate, but not ridiculously.
and I would love to help you with any marketing material.
One additional question that I think we all want to know is how'd you guys split us up? Did you like fantasy draft or like? That's where my game was.
Are we gonna do a contest? Who's
Yeah.
gonna win? Show us an arrow. We're all too much alike.
You can always trade us in for the other guy if you're not happy with.
That's how the draft worked. That's all.
Did we have the same team or did one of you get me and one of you get Tony?
Well, you guys, can, like we said, we can fix it up.
No one can say Brian. You're the last one.
Who was the first pick? It was
It's just.
We went every other down the road.
You're like.
We just find it impossible to get communication out to everyone in efficient ways. We're splitting it up and you'll get the same information, just. more-
Especially now that you have 250 of you.
More.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's gonna be a good one, and I couldn't find any weird caveats in it.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Get that out.
This is like, oh wait, product. I'm kidding.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you, Tom R. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Tom M. The Toms. I was talking to somebody and I was saying the Toms, and this was a person that was not in our market center. It actually was a different agent, and they were like like, is the Toms, is that like one person? Where does that name originate from? And I was like, oh, no, it's two, it's two. So, yeah, thank you guys. We really appreciate that. All right, come on down, Randy Roof. Talk about title. Did you split us up too? 'Cause
No.
we need to know.
No, everybody in this office is with Aaron and I. Just to kind of touch on going after the Toms, I've noticed a lot more agents are starting to use them, i.e. making my life easier. So I can give you feedback from the title side. I think a lot of you know a loan officer is only as good as their back end closing, and they've got it figured out over there. So your customers are really appreciating the whole process. So that's a good nugget for them for sure. Another thing I wanted to touch on, because I kind of, when I come up here, I want to give you what I'm seeing on my end to kind of help you guys out from your end, because you see these customers before I do. Sellers. So just to reiterate, 100% of now, 98% of the time, they are not going to the closing. We are going to be pre-signing your seller 98% of the time. That 2% is if I'm personally doing both sides, I will schedule them in the same office, same building, 2 separate offices, just to save 2 closings for me. But if the seller can't make it, I'll still pre-sign them. So just because I'm still getting sellers when I'm scheduling, and they're like, well, what do you mean? I took the day of the closing off. So why am I coming down to your office? So you just want to let them know when you're getting a listing signed and you're choosing the closing date, just to give them a heads up. My closer is going to be reaching out to you, and you're going to be seeing him before your closing date. And then their first question is, what about my money? And then let them know that's the day you'll decide how you get your money. So you'll either get it wired into your account, you will get a check overnighted to you, or you can go pick up your check, or you can get it mailed. Safest way, go get your check or have it overnighted. So I do see that a lot. And then the pre-signing appointment, what we do then is we sign your seller and we send everything to the buyer's title company. And then they're going to bring the buyer in the actual day of closing. And then that's when it closes in funds. Now your seller is more than welcome to go to that actual closing and hang out in the lobby for their check. Because I do get a lot of sellers that get nervous about that whole process, especially older folks. They don't want to be like, what do you mean? I'm selling my house, I'm signing my life away, and I don't have a check in my hand. I've had people not want to leave my office a week before closing without a check. So, but we get through those. That's just how it's done. Like COVID kind of, and I will say we were one of the lives closed in 6 states in this country, and we were one of the last states to kind of separate from that. No West Coast states do it. They're all split always. I think it's a better process for everybody. That's one of the good things that came out of COVID was splitting that whole process up. But just let them know, you're not going to go, if you've got any questions outside of that, call your closer, but we'll get that scheduled just so they don't, because the advice I give you guys is to make sure that doesn't look like we're not talking. Because that's like, whenever I hear a client, they're like, oh, I didn't know that, then that's kind of like nails on a chalkboard for you guys. Because I feel for you, because I want them to know that we're talking. So when they get that pre-signed scheduled, okay, yep, we're a week before closing. I knew that was coming. And then we'll figure out how to get my money when that comes. So you guys have any questions on that though? Just let me know for sure. And another thing is how we're signing them. Now, ink signatures are the preferred way still to this day. I know a lot of people I got a lot of agents telling their customers, oh, you can sign that online. It's not the case 100% of the time. So when you've got a seller who's out of state, I would not tell them, no worries, we'll just sign you online, because a lot of times we can't. So there's still lenders out there that will not accept a deed that is signed electronically. So if I have a seller who's out of state and I have to ask the buy side, is it okay for our seller to sign electronically? Then they have to ask the lender and their underwriter. And it's not a lot of times I'd say it's 80% of the time we can do it, but there's a 20 where we can't. So I don't want the expectation to be, oh, we can sign online, no problem. And then I tell them you can't, and then they're going to be mad at you guys for sure. So the quicker you let your title guy know, the quicker you are going to have the answer on if you can DocuSign or not. So definitely don't commit to it. Let them know it's an option, and then we can research it. And then, so the other end of that is if it's not a DocuSign, what it's going to be is I'm going to overnight, or me or whoever is going to overnight actual documents to them. Now we can, all they're going to have to do, it's going to be in 2 piles. It's going to be one, you can sign it at home, 2, you got to take it down to a notary. There's usually 6 pages that need to be notarized. Both of those I do if they need it. Most of the time they don't, but if they do, I'm available. I'll make it like an actual closing. We'll do FaceTime. And then they can just sign everything and go down there. And then they overnight it back to us. That is what I do 95% of the time. It's still easier than the online stuff because that technology is still new and it is a rough process for sellers. A lot of them don't even make it through the verification process to be able to they call it RON, to sign. It's a pain in the butt and customers hate it. So I like to stick it with old school still. So let me know if you guys need any help or questions on that at all. Okay, cool.
Thank you, Randy. Very good. Good stuff. All right. What do we got coming up in the Market Center? Hey, is everybody signed up for spring cleaning event? If you have not yet signed up, we're getting a little bit late and you can still do it. So come on down Saturday, April 12th from 9 to 12. We're going to have a food truck and it's going to be delicious and there's going to be lots of things. So that's coming. We also have Keely. Is Keely?
She's online.
Keely,
Here she is.
can you come up?
Yeah.
Hi. So we have a self-defense class. What have we got cooking?
Yeah, so we have a self-defense class coming next week already. It's on Wednesday from 1 to 3, taught by a professional MMA fighter. There are a lot of good people in this world and a lot of motivated buyers that come to an open house, but there's also a lot of weirdos. So I think it's important that everyone knows how to protect themselves when they are either showing up to a showing with someone they don't know or even just hosting an open house because we're blasting on social media where we are, what time, and we're going to be alone. So sign up. It's for anyone, all ages. You don't have to be in YP. But yeah, you can scan that QR code to sign up.
Brooklyn Park Martial Arts.
Okay, Brooklyn Park Martial Arts Center. Awesome. So here's the QR code. Go ahead and scan that. Keely, be careful. Just be careful. I know you're driving in a parking lot right now and you're totally safe and you're under like 25 miles an hour, but just be careful. All right. Hey, friends, we have Todd Butzer coming. Now, who in this room does not know who Todd Butzer is? Raise your hand up real high, up real high. All right. Todd Butzer is, love that. You are not going to want to miss this. So Todd is a longtime wealth builder. He also is the owner of the Southeast region of Keller Williams, and he's an amazing man. He's also exceptionally wise in helping people build their wealth. So whether you are starting your journey or you already have a huge portfolio, he will be able to answer your questions, give you some insight, and provide you with some tips and strategies. I also will share with you that I sent him a text and I'm like, hey, could you happen to do a video for me so that we can promote it? And we have a little joke that we always introduce each other to each other every time we meet each other. So he's like, good morning, Jen. Nice to meet you. I've been out of the country and we'll work on getting something to you soon. If you're having a conversation with agents, just ask them if your financial and investment world is solid. There's no need for you to come to this class. That's what he said. If not, come to the class. So the Select Wealth Committee group is bringing this to us. There is a link. Oh, right here. Scan it so that you can sign up to attend. Seating is limited, and I will tell you that seats are flying off of wherever they fly off of. Seats are getting filled.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that I'm forgetting?
It's a free event. It's at the Burnsville Library. Just because we wanted to have a little bit bigger space to host it. And I promise you, the 1 hour you spend with Todd will change your life. It will be very good information. So
He's really good.
he's
fair to medium. No, he's very good.
It's taking us to a Facebook page.
Yep, that's where you sign up.
We do sign up from there? Okay.
Oh, actually, it should be an Eventbrite link.
Yeah, that's what it is.
This one's the Facebook.
That's the Facebook one?
Yeah, that's a Facebook.
Okie dokie. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the Eventbrite link. Use the Eventbrite link, guys, because we want to be able to track so that we have the proper seating
Yeah.
that we need. So Eventbrite link, Thursday, April 17th at 1 p.m. We will make sure to email you out the link so that you can go ahead and sign up for that. As well as our Wealth Strategies panel is on Tuesday, April 22nd. That will be here. And that is going to be a live or a virtual event where 4 of the Select Wealth members are going to share what they've taken from what they've learned at Mark King and implemented into their business or into their lives and how it's impacted them. Good? We want you to build wealth through real estate for you and your families so that you have passive wealth that's flowing into your families while you're working on your active income in real estate. Because we don't know Bitcoin. We don't know necessarily the ins and outs of the stock market. We do know real estate. Red Day. Red Day. Yay! We have Red Day coming.
I thought I missed it.
You didn't.
Oh,
Krista, come and share with us.
Lisa's here though.
Oh, Lisa's here too.
Uh-huh.
Okay, ladies.
Hello.
Tell us what we're doing for
Put in the
them.
hot. Sorry. I just came from one of the sites, so timely.
Okay.
Well, yeah, so Red Day, I think we have like the sign up and the Red Day t-shirts all out there. Thank you, Hannah. Red Day, May 8th. We're gonna go from 9 to 1, right?
Yeah.
And then we have 3 locations. So Havenwood Senior Home in Burnsville, that will be an indoor one. We're gonna do yard work. A friend of mine has been battling cancer for over 15 years. His family needs some help with some yard work, and that's in Ember Grove Heights. That'll be an outdoor one. And then you just came from, is that where you just came from?
Yeah, Dakota Woodlands. It's the only homeless shelter in Dakota County. It's a family homeless shelter. So it's all like fathers with kids, which I guess there's an increase in dads with kids there. There are moms with kids, that's the majority. And then there's like parents with families. So I think they house like 24 families at a time, up to like 6 months. But they have just a lot of things we can be doing. So it's yard work, it's property stuff. If it's indoors, we can leave the kitchens, but there's a ton of opportunities there. So
Yeah, and then we thought we would get together at the Lone Oak Grill in Egan at 2 p.m. like for lunch, hang out, talk about all the great, wonderful things that we did that day. So we hope to see you all and volunteer. And have a great day.
It's going to be such a fun time. Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
And if you don't know what Red Day is, so it was created in 2009 to celebrate Mo Anderson's birthday. So it's an annual thing. It's the second Thursday in May every year. And Red Day stands for Renew, Energize, and Donate. So that's kind of the thing where we serve our community. And it's done across the country, Keller Williams. So-
Across all the world.
Yeah.
Is it across the world?
Yeah, all the markets.
Oh,
are
that's
all
the
the
market,
markets.
yeah.
Yeah,
Very
so it's
cool.
very,
Global
it's a cool thing. It is, I think, the thing that separates us is as our culture from other companies in real estate and quite frankly in corporate America. But it's the secret sauce. Yeah. So thank you ladies for leading the charge on that. If you have any questions, you can see Krista or Lisa. But we are very excited for it and it's always a great time. And then of course the 2 o'clock lunch. That's always fun too. So, all right. When we sent out the invitation for today's team meeting, we talked about the 6 steps required for you to find success in real estate. Now, these 6 steps are, they are a foundational bedrock of how we built Keller Williams. Interestingly enough, when Gary first founded the company, every single class started with these 6 perspectives. They're called the 6 personal perspectives, and they are how top producers think. In order for you to achieve success, Gary firmly believes, and it has been proven, that you must have successful mindset in order for it to show up in your world. Well, we as a leadership team have chosen to go through these 6 steps with you all. And each one of our staff members have chosen one of the perspectives. They're going to share what they've learned from that perspective and how you can incorporate it into your business. And so I'm so excited to hear from each one of them because you're going to hear not just from me, you'll hear from Kelly, you're going to hear from Maggie, you're going to hear from Hannah, you're going to hear from Jaden, and you're going to hear from Connie. And you're going to get different perspectives on how these 6 personal truths show up in your world such that it allows for you to overcome obstacles and achieve the success that you desire. So let's start out before we do it, I did such a great job at setting that up. We're gonna sell a property before we do it though. Who's got a property off market that they need to sell, they choose to sell, or buyers that have looked at everything on the market and they can't find anything? Who's got a coming soon, a withheld, or something ready to share? Listings and buyers.
Got it coming soon. Two-story townhome with a basement in Venice Heights, 3 bedrooms, end unit, going live on Friday for $290.
290, going once. Hayden?
I've got a townhome in Shakopee and unit of rentals are available, 3 bed, 3 bath, 325, coming on mid-April.
All right.
Jen,
Yes, sir.
I have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,900 square foot home on Rome Drive in Apple Valley, going live next Thursday at 4:05.
Good stuff. Ben, did you have?
Yeah, 2 bed, 2 bath, Rambler in Belle Plaine. 225.
I got a 4-bedroom, 2-bath in Burnsville going live on Thursday. 2,400 square feet, 399,000.
All right. Did I see, Jeff?
Can't see me behind Ben here. I've got a buyer need. They're looking for a 3 bed, 3 bath, up to 6 1/4, I think we're up to now, somewhere in the northern, like Hugo, Lion Lakes, maybe even Woodbury area. Preferably single level, but it would do.
Oh. I have a couple online. Casey has a buyer needed in Hugo, Forest Lake, Stillwater, up to Stacy. 4+ bed, 2+ bath, 2+ car, up to 550. And Tara has a coming soon, 2-story downtown in Dayton, 3 bed, 3 bath, 1,900 square feet, built in 2023, and the owner has maintained it meticulously. So it's basically brand new, going live Friday, 370.
Jen, this is Mickey. I have a coming soon, just went on this morning. It's in Savage Townhome, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1 car garage, 229.9. I hope to have it active before weekend.
Okay. Thought I saw him. Yes, Joe.
I have one that's not coming till mid-May, estimated. It's gonna be at 400,000. It's a 2 bed, 2 bath townhome.
Okay.
HOA is very well.
Good. All right, anybody else?
I have a couple buyer needs.
Yes, please, please.
Northeast Minneapolis, looking for at least 2 bedroom, 1 bath is fine, 1 car is fine. Keeping it sub 400 or, sub 485 for those of you in the PC program. Sub 400 would be ideal. And then, I have 3 bed, 2 car, 1 bath would be fine with the ability to add 1, and they would do. No, they would do Fridley, Spring Lake Park, Lino Lakes, White Bear, Hugo, like kind of that area. And they're looking to stay sub 360. And then my urgent one, and it would free up a townhouse in Bloomington, is a 3 bed, preferably 2 baths, but would do 1 bath condo in Bloomington, Edina. It would be ideal if it was sub 550. Yeah.
Ben? Yep.
I have a buyer for Plymouth, Golden Valley, maybe consider New Hope area. Ideally 3 or more beds, 2 or more baths. 375 to 450 would be their ideal price point. And then another one that is for Hastings, 1 level townhomes. Would like storage area, so a little bit bigger of a townhome. There's some townhomes off of General Stephen that they really like, so if you know somebody that lives there, please let me know. 450, by the way, under 4.
Okay. Good. Anything else I'm missing? For those of you that don't have a listing coming or a buyer that you are searching for, If there's anyone in this room or on the screen that fits that description, everything you just heard now, particularly on the buyer side of them looking, I don't think any of our agents would be severely offended if you decided to door knock the areas that those buyers are looking in and say, we have a buyer that's interested in moving into this area. This is their criteria, leave off the price. And do you know of anyone in this neighborhood that's looking to sell? Here's why. Because you could potentially get that listing and then partner up with one of the agents here that has a buyer for it. So while we're doing these market opportunities, think, okay, how could I leverage this opportunity to lead generate and get a listing? Or what could I do to my buyer pool in my sphere, in my database through Command, where I could send out, we have some off-market opportunities that I'm aware of, and this is what they are. Do you know of someone that might be looking for something that matches? Okay, so I just want you to think the reason that we do these market opportunities is yes, we want to sell things right now, and it does happen. The second, though, reason is because you can leverage those pieces of information for your database so that you can drum up and generate more leads so that you can make a match and help your clients. Make sense? Okay. All right. So 6 personal perspectives. You might want to get out a pen and paper or like do your thing on your notes. What is the difference? What is the difference between those who achieve at the highest level from those who don't seem to accomplish as much? What would you guys think? What might be something? Look at them all coming up.
Taking the action.
Taking action is so good. Yes. The ones that get into action. What else?
Mindset.
Mindset. Absolutely. What else?
Work harder.
Hard work. Yeah, absolutely. The diligence and the effort, the resilience and the grit. What else?
They're learning based.
Learning based. Absolutely. All of these things are correct. They all fit into the category of our mindset, our attitudes, and our approach. We are going to learn for earning's sake. The worst thing that can happen is that you get all this information and you don't do anything with it. I'm going to save that discussion for another training, but there is very distinct and medical truths that the generation that we have right now, we're all living in this information age, and we are becoming the most dissatisfied generation because we get all this information and we don't even know what to do with it. Information gained without action behind it causes frustration and anxiety. So yes, we have to keep our mindset strong. Our attitudes must be positive and forward thinking, and we have to actually get into activity. All right, so we're going to talk about these 6 steps, and here's the interesting thing about them. Oh, let me tell you what Gary says. Gary says, when you interview the very top people and you ask them what their biggest challenge is, invariably they will tell you it is mindset. Keeping it strong, keeping it focused and positive amongst the many challenges that they encounter every day on their way to the top. Life is an inside to outside experience. When you get this at a very deep level, you realize that who you are inside determines and drives what you are outside. The very best achievers know this, therefore truly they work on and protect their mindset more than anything else. There's a TED Talk that we won't watch today, yet I think you should really take a look at it. It is 4 minutes and 42 seconds long. It is given by Rick Elias. And it is the 3 things he learned while his plane was crashing. And it is the story of, remember out east when Sully, you remember the pilot, Sully Sullivan, had to do that emergency landing and they were going to crash into the river and all the things. These are the 3 things that he learned while his plane was crashing. You get real clear real quick. And I'm not going to go to, I wrote down notes on all of the things that he learned. And It's 4 minutes and 42 seconds. Watch it. Because you will appreciate it. High achievers, they all have a reality mindset. What a reality mindset is it says, where am I right now? Where do I choose to be? And what do I have to do in order to get there? So right now, we just recently finished Q1 of 2025. Do you know what your goal was for Q1 of 2025? Write it down in this bubble or on your piece of paper. Did you achieve it? Didn't you achieve it? And if you didn't achieve it, what do you have to do differently to pivot so that Q2 you catch back up for your 2025 goals? How do we have to think? What do we have to do? How do we have to prepare? How do we have to occur? How do we choose to occur? Not have to. How do we choose to occur? How do we choose to think? How do we choose to be? Because an individual's mindset holds the key to what they can accomplish. Their attitudes and beliefs then determines the mindset. You can reach the highest level of achievement in your business and in your life when you adopt those 6 principles. You have to start with reality and be true to yourself and discover where you are at so that you can go where you desire to go. The first step to committing to any type of individual success is you have to commit to self-mastery. If I were to ask you, what is self-mastery? What would you tell me? What is your definition of self-mastery?
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness. Very good. What else?
Mindset.
Mindset. Tell me more about that. What do you mean by that?
Having self-awareness, but also having a very positive mindset so that you can achieve the goals you set out for.
Yes. Very good. What else?
Understanding strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Self-awareness.
Understanding your strengths and your weaknesses, having self-awareness. Yep. Anything else? Trap.
I feel like mastery is like improving upon something, knowing that you can never be as like the finish line. It's like constantly improving, knowing that, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there's some finish line, but you never get there.
Yes.
So doing that to yourself.
Yes. You're on a constant improvement. And if you get delusional about a fact that I'm going to make it, when I do this, I'm going to make it, you're setting yourself up for some real bad days. I was going to say depression. It kind of is, because then you achieve that and then you're like, oh, wait a minute. It is an ever evolving growth journey. When you commit though to self-mastery, what you're doing is you can't commit to anything else until you've committed to self-mastery. What does John Maxwell say? The hardest person to lead is ourselves. And when we do, then we can accomplish and commit to other things. Delaney, were you going to say something?
It was honestly kind of the same thing as Travis, but just like that continuous or continual pursuit of personal excellence, whatever that looks like to you, but you can never, like, you can always become better in some sort of way in your life. So
yeah,
just that continual pursuit.
A
You
great
should have gone first, actually.
a great thing to write down that you may want to just jot down on your mirror in the bathroom or a little thing that you do in your visor when you anywhere that's in front of your face. Am I my best self today?
That's good, huh?
I don't want to talk about it.
When you're not.
Right?
Texting it to Jen.
Be first the master of yourself and only then a master of anything else. Gary says it's kind of like you can't go past what's that in Monopoly? Do not pass go. You can't go past this thing and try to do these other things because these other things will be like a house of cards. Because if you don't fix yourself, you end up being fraudulent in your other things. And when the house of cards falls apart, you then wonder, who the heck am I? Where's my value? What's my worth? I know I was not very articulate, but you get what I mean on that one? Big deal. So Self-mastery is the possession of great knowledge, skills, and habits that make you the master of you. I'm the boss of me. I'm the CEO of Jen Mains. Are you the CEO of yourselves? Who says that?
Our king kept saying that.
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
The
CEO
of me.
of me, Inc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much smarter than me. But that's true. And that's true. So when you commit to achieving self-mastery, Krista, you won the prize because you know your goals, you know your strengths and your weaknesses, and then you know how to work with both of them. Remember in school, when you went through these exams and these tests, and they said, oh, well, you're really good in English, you suffer in math. So we're going to put you in remedial math, and then we're going to figure out how to make you better at math. And then you're going to learn all these things about math. They never say, let's put you into accelerated English, because my goodness, you might be a rock star and an author one day. I think that's another time for another day, talk, whatever. Focus on your strengths and your weaknesses to get you where you want to go. Once you know what they are, then you can put them into place, right? So what's your goal? Any goal. I don't care what it is. It could be sell 100 houses. It could be drink 100 ounces of water a day. I don't care what it is. Set a goal. What is my strength? What is my weakness? And then make a plan, because did I do that too fast? Yeah. Okie dokie.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you. Got it now?
No, I mean, I've only done this class 6 times.
It's okay. You're
I'm not there,
mastering.
I'm not master.
10,000 hours. Hey, somebody get out your calculator. Thank you for saying that. Someone get out your calculators. Take 10,000 hours. So take the number 10,000, divide it by 12. Divide it by 4. Divide it by 5. What is that?
42, 41, 66.
Divide.
I rounded up to 42, sorry.
Okay. Right, keep that-
So just
keep it-
42 hours a day, you're saying?
I was like, how the heck is that gonna work?
I think 10,000 hours is a lifetime pursuit, isn't it?
I was like, holy shit. that's a lot. 15 minutes? Okay, wait, I'm sorry, we got it, okay, okay.
Sorry, I didn't.
Just make a plan.
I'm gonna do that. I think.
42 minutes a week. 42 minutes a week,
Yeah.
see, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right, I think it's actually Travis is right. We're gonna, okay, stay
Yeah.
tuned, because I'm gonna do a live.
It's a lifetime pursuit, other hand. Yeah, 10,000 hours is a big deal.
You could break it down.
For a lifetime on one thing, I'd like to master something.
5 years?
Yeah, let's figure that out. Travis, can you-
2080 is full-time schedule, so 5 years would be 10,000.
I'm sorry, Joe?
Well, 2080 is a full-time work in a year. That sounds
Correct.
right. So times 5 is just over 10,000. So it's a 5-year full-time job.
Thank you.
There you go.
Once you're a winner, then you can make a plan, whether it be a 5-year plan, a lifetime plan, a year plan that has you working 41 hours a week or a day.
Whatever it takes.
Mastery starts with a decision. It's not gonna happenstance, right? Like you have to decide, and then you can never master anything by accident. That is the first step, self-mastery. It will then lead to the 80-20 rule. Step 2. All right, Maggie.
All right, when you have your goals, then now you got to figure out what tasks you're going to do to work on to reach your goals. So a lot of us have probably heard of this concept, the 80-20 rule. So basically the idea is that 20% of your efforts gives you 80% of your results or of your success. So if you think about spending your entire day doing tasks, only a small chunk is actually helping you reach your goals. So this idea was created by Italian economist Vilfred Pareto. And so when he was doing his experiments, he was realizing that 20% of his peas from his garden were actually contributing to 80% of his yield. So it wasn't just all the peas that he got one year created all the peas for the next year. It was actually just a small little portion. And so really it's a rule of thumb that's helping us prioritize what's most important. So I have a couple of other helpful visuals to help us. So you may have heard of the kind of the famous jar example where if all of your tasks for the day are broken up into kind of different size rocks, you can't just fill the whole jar with sand and the small rocks first, because then you're not going to have room for your big rocks. And so if you think about what are the big rocks that are going to be moving your real estate business ahead, if you think about things like lead generation, appointments, negotiating deals, those are going to be the big rocks versus, you know, working on your marketing flyer for the third time this week, making that edit to your website, doing that blog post, going in like
You all knowing.
putting a sticker on your sign, like little things like that. Yes, they are going to help you ultimately, but not actually getting you the money. And so another way to think about it is if you had 100 clients in your database and these 20 purchased houses from you and it got you 80 cars worth of money, would you keep focusing on how to get more money from like what you did on these 20 deals to get you all of this money? So just kind of helping you, whether you think about it as a jar and like big tasks, or if you kind of think about it, numbers on a chart, like where is your 20% here? So we kind of ran a similar experiment on our K-Score program. So we were looking at like, okay, of all of the people who graduated from our K-Score program, where did they come from? Where should we be focusing these efforts? And we found out of the 70 that had graduated at the time I ran the experiment, 70% of those came from our agents. So if I know a major chunk of my K-Score program is coming from our agent base, what are we going to do to help, you know, motivate our agent base to send more referrals to us? So now you guys have that $5 coffee credit gift card. So every time you guys give us a referral, you get $5. So that's just kind of an example of something you could take into your business and really focus on, like, where did all of your income come from the last year, and how does that reflect on your calendar? So really what's the most important thing is to, instead of making to-do lists for yourself, make yourself success checklists. So here's all the things that you could be doing or want to be doing, but then there's a couple of things that you can pinpoint that should actually be on the success list that are going to actually move the needle forward. And so, yeah, remember the idea is that more results with fewer activities. And so the 80-20 principle is going to fast track you to mastery if you're willing to focus on it.
So good, huh?
Oh, it's me.
Like, oh, who's next? Good job, Amy.
I'm going to talk about moving from E to P. So in the actual 6 personal perspectives, they call it entrepreneurial versus purposeful. Another good way to think about it is easy to painful, because in this ceiling, hitting the ceiling graphic thing, in your business, you might not think of things as entrepreneurial and purposeful. It might be like, well, this is really easy, I'm going to do it. And this is going to be really painful if I choose this route. So basically what this whole graphic means is this. So this is our fundamental ceiling of achievement right here. So when we're in the entrepreneurial way of thinking, or in the entrepreneurial mindset, we are actually going on a downward trajectory for the majority of our whatever task or thing that we're doing. We're actually going down, and then we hit this really cool like upward thing for like 0.2 seconds, and then you plummet straight down. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna do what's easy and what's comfortable, and like, yeah, there might be some disappointment, but like there's always greener grass, right? Like it's fine. So then you get here and you're like, oh yeah, I did it really, really good. And then boom, you hit the ceiling because you're not getting uncomfortable. You're taking the easy way out because as humans, that's just what we do. So instead of this vicious cycle, let's move to purposeful, or the painful way. Like the way that I think about it is like, okay, purposeful is going to make me like, yeah, it's fine. Like I'll do that eventually. If I think about it painfully, I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably do that like right now, you know, like if you're, sorry, that didn't really make sense.
You're doing great.
Let me go back. Okay. The way that I think about this, because this is the way that my brain works, purposeful is like Yeah, like it'll be purposeful, like I'll get to it eventually. I'm a big procrastinator, so like if I think of it as purposeful, not painful, it's gonna take me more time to get to the painful part and get uncomfortable. Does that make more sense? I hope. Okay. So to get to this, to get past this, to break the ceiling, what are 5 things you can do? Focus on your goals. So goal setting, checklists, whatever you want to do. Find strategic options for the things that you want to achieve. So like, how can I do it differently? Who does it really well? And I like it and they're successful at it. Who can I talk to? Who can be your mentor? Look for models to follow is number 3. So come to our trainings. Find people who did it the right way was supposed to be for number 3. But find people who have done it well. And then 4, install systems. So time block your calendar. Practice scripts with yourself in the mirror or with other people. And make checklists. I like to do them on paper. Some people like to do them on their phone. Do whatever you want to do. And then be accountable to yourself. So those are 5 ways that you can move from E to P, get past this fundamental ceiling of achievement, and reach your goals.
Oh, yeah, that is. I was like, I was like, who's this? Who is this? Okay, make learning base the foundation of your action. So we're gonna be very non-judgmental right now. Everyone say, I promise.
I promise.
I promise.
Okay, so how many of you in here, because this isn't like the other systems where it's like, what's learning based? Like, you guys know what learning based is. Raise your hand if you consider yourself to be learning based. Okay, keep them up. There's no judgment here. How many of you learned something last week? Keep your hands up if you learned something last week. Now, keep your hands up if you remember what you learned last week. And then
I do.
Okay.
Sorry, saying out loud, can't.
Yep. Shh, no judgment. And then continue to keep your hand up if you implemented or took action on something that you learned last week.
Wow.
Overachievers.
That's impressive.
Here's a good, thought about it, but it's different than actually taking action. So again, no judgment here, but it's something that we have.
It's a little judgy, not gonna lie.
No. Okay.
Whatever we say, there's no judgment. It's a smidge.
Okay. You guys can judge me now. We're gonna use me as an example about this. Because the people who learned something and didn't actually do anything with it, we might be learning for knowing's sake. For example, we all like to poke fun at my book choices. We do. So for example, I read a book and it was very much about burial and cremation practices across the world. What did I do with that? Absolutely nothing. Does it make me better at my job? No. Does it help you? No. But I learned it. There's some stuff I know that I
state. Where are they putting those people?
Okay.
I was trying to give it to you.
Good.
Thank you.
Cover. Like, wow, how'd you decide to read?
So many questions and we have to keep going.
So, that's for a different conversation. If you want my reading list, I will give it to you. However, okay, if we're learning for doing sake, we also remember the book I read that gave me anxiety. So from there, I took action and read a book instead called The Inner Something of Stress, The Inner Game of Stress, because I'm like, we're going to learn how to manage our stress. And there's some tactics and tools in there that I can actually use and implement. So now we're learning for doing sake instead of learning for knowing sake.
Very good.
Oh yeah. Now there's 4 levels of competency as we are learning. Again, we're going to poke fun at me. So we start at this unconscious incompetence. I don't know if you guys know, but I played violin for like 20 years. I started, I think I was like 10 years old. Unconscious incompetence. Super eager, dorky, unibrowed kid, ready to just like make moves. I'm gonna like be a professional violinist. It's gonna be so good. Get this first little violin home. And my dad, bless him, he let me do it. But then there's an aha, an awareness. I might not know everything about music. We've got some learning to do. Now we move into conscious incompetence. Now we know that there's stuff that we don't know. From there, you can take lessons, practice. We do our scales, our arpeggios. Mike suffered through that too. Mike's my dad. Ouch. There's growth. There's change that's happening. Then from there, you get into conscious competence where we know what we know what we don't know, but we know that there's still like a journey. And then you get to unconscious competence. And that's your state of flow. That's where you don't have to think about it anymore. That's when you learn a song and you don't have to read the music. You're freaking Mozart. And that's where we get to. So we can think about this in our businesses too. Where's something where we can go, there's something out there that someone knows better than me or that I could be better at that could get me to a state of flow, and how something that you can get 10% better. Well, fortunately for us, we work for a super cool company that has a ton of resources for us. We have a podcast network where you can learn about the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. You can hear about people who are doing it. We have a bunch of other podcasts that also share stuff with us. We have books on books on books. So pick something that you want to get a little bit better at, study up on it, and then take action. Which then, oh, I'm getting so excited, you guys. You're so good. Okay, does everyone remember Jared at our last team meeting? He goes, everybody remembers everything Jared says. He said, when I'm feeling like a victim, I have to stop myself because I can't be a leader and a victim at the same time. It's the same thing here. You're going to hear next from Jay about limiting beliefs. Raise your hands again if you believe that you are learning based. Okay, so when you have limiting beliefs, you are not learning based anymore. So if you truly believe that you're learning based, when those limiting beliefs creep in, come back to this guy. Good job, Carol.
Okay, I don't have as many pages as Kelly. I'm gonna be.
Reads a lot of books.
She does.
Just gonna say.
So, no tech tips this week. We're gonna be talking about removing your limiting beliefs. So let's start off with what is a limiting belief. So limiting beliefs are thoughts or mindsets that are considered absolute truths and prevent people from taking certain actions. They can be about oneself, the world, ideas, or how people interact. These beliefs can hold people back from achieving their full potential. So this definition seems pretty straightforward, but most people tend to focus on the fact that they are absolute truths. In my opinion, this is a caveat because I think we should focus on the fact that they are considered absolute truths. So most overachievers, people who accomplish a lot of things in their life, they understand what these are and are able to remove them from their minds. So if we look at some limiting beliefs and the types that they usually are, we have money. So an example would be wanting more money is evil. Life is hard. It's not worth trying. Happiness. I don't deserve happiness. Love, relationships, marriages, they just cause headaches. I'm not going to try. Or self. I'm broken inside. It's too late for me. So those overachievers, people who achieve great things in life, what they can do is take these limiting beliefs and turn them to unlimiting beliefs. So instead of thinking money and wanting it is evil, they would say, I should want more money. I can help people with money. I can make a difference with money. In life is hard, but I only get one, so I'm going to appreciate it. Happiness, I do deserve happiness. I do deserve good things. Love, relationships are beautiful. I should cherish them. And self, I may feel broken, but I can fix myself. I can rely on someone else to fix me. And these limiting beliefs can apply to each one of us in here. Everyone has something that they feel like that holds them back. We all have mental barriers, and that's completely fine. The thing is, if you want to achieve a lot, not only in real estate, but in life, the key is turning these limiting beliefs into unlimiting beliefs. So, where do these limiting beliefs come from? A lot of the times they come from misconceptions or what other people tell us. I got some examples for you. The saying, the Napoleon complex. People believe that Napoleon was short and angry. Napoleon was actually 5'6", so he was a regular dude. I thought you would understand. The idea that bats are blind. A bat chased me when I was a kid. It's not blind. The idea of peeing on a jellyfish thing is helpful. That is not true. Don't let anyone pee on it. These limiting beliefs are often caused by outside factors. So as the saying goes, water can only sink the ship if it gets in. So I'm also going to give you an example of what to me is one of the greatest examples of removing a limiting belief. Has anyone ever heard of the Miracle Mile? Great. I was hoping it was less people, but that's okay. So in the 1950s, it was considered impossible to run a sub 4-minute mile. So at that time, John Landy, he was an Australian, the fastest mile runner at that time. And he had multiple attempts to go under 4 minutes, couldn't do it. So because he was the fastest at that time, all these sportscasters believed that it was humanly impossible. Then comes Roger Bannister, a medical student. He was British. He believed it was humanly possible to run this sub 4-minute mile. So what he did was he took this big, inconquerable thing and broke it down into smaller pieces. A medical student started training, and instead of running 4 miles at once, he would run 1 mile. Then he would run 2 miles. Then he would run 3 miles. Eventually, he had his opportunity to run a sub 4-minute mile, and he became the first man in 1954, May 6th, to run a sub 4-minute mile. He ran 3:59. Barely did it, but he did it. This is the kicker. 2 months after he runs a sub 4-minute mile, John Landy, who has been trying for years, breaks his record and runs 3:58. So what does that tell us? Did John Landy have the ability to run a sub 4-minute mile the entire time? Yep. Most likely. He just didn't believe it was humanly possible. So that shows that these limiting beliefs are always subject to change. And I challenge everyone here to look at this video that I brought for you. And before Hannah hits play, look at the scene. This is the track and field Big Ten championships, actually in the U of M. And we can see that this is the women's 600. The University of Minnesota needs a Minnesota athlete to win in order to clinch the Big Ten championships. Okay, now we can play.
In the home stretch, heading into the bell lap. Oh, down.
Dornan falling down, gets up quickly, but that's going to cost her. Lucky she wasn't injured.
Her teammate just went to the front, though, so they may be able to recover from that. And Dornan is flying down the backstretch.
She is catching up.
She is going to catch Fondor, and she may catch the leaders.
Wow.
But she's got fun.
This is a gutsy effort by Dornan. Can she pull it off? She's moving to third. Dornan coming down the stretch from the outside. Dornan coming on strong. Dornan all the way. Dornan.
So if Hannah can kill the volume, and we're going to go through this step by step.
She's also a local, like
She's a Rosemont.
yeah.
Really?
She's go for royalty, trust me.
Okay, I'm ready. It's muted.
Okay.
In the home stretch, heading into the bell lap.
And I think sports is a lot like real estate. This is having opportunities in the pipeline. Business is going well. We're going to a bunch of classes. We're learning so much, networking, meeting people. We're in cruise control. All right, go ahead and hit play.
Oops.
I did not do that.
Here. Yep.
Shorten went down.
Whoa.
Went down.
Whoa.
Went down.
Whoa.
Shorten went down.
There we go. Okay, we're gonna try it one more time.
Okay, guys. I'm trying. Okay, we're gonna go like this.
Do you need me to move?
Nope, we're good.
Okay, we can work with this, right?
Perfect.
Go.
That's a good one.
Face hits the ground.
Yep.
I hope no one knows her, but she's flat on her face right here, you know? So this is when we have a tragedy happen. We just weren't lead generating. Now we have nothing in the pipeline. Business is hard. Life happens. And this feels so much worse when you see other people excelling, sorry. They're doing well, they're doing great. And for me, my personal situation, it sucks right now. I'm going to go ahead and play. And she's almost completely out of the frame. All she's seeing is the back of other people's uniforms. The crowd is going. She just had it all. Now she feels like she lost it all. And at this stage, it's easy to just stop. At this stage, would anyone blame her if she stopped? You fell. We understand. But she removed her limiting belief because she knew that she could still win. And she did what Hannah talked about, moving from E to P. I said that right?
Yep.
Right. Moving from E to P. Moving from that place of comfort to getting out of that comfort zone, moving to a place where I remove that limiting belief and chase something greater. Okay, we're gonna play. And this entire back stretch, she still doesn't seem to be in the race. The people who are speaking, the sportscasters, they're talking about first and second. She's in last. But that doesn't matter to her because she's removing those limiting beliefs. She's removing what everyone else is saying. And she's believing in herself with her unlimiting beliefs. And as we continue to see her run, we see her pass one person. We see her pass two people. And then what we eventually see is her moving into the lead and doing something that no one thought could be done. And I think this is something that can apply to each one of you. We all have our different challenges, different limiting beliefs. We all have things that we have to battle, but those things don't have to be your story. Your story is something that you can control. And when it comes to real estate, we try to provide as many resources for you as we can in the Market Center. And it goes beyond real estate. We really value everyone who's here, and we try to help you as much as we can. So that's all I got for you. Hope it was helpful. And I'm going to pass it on to the woman, the myth, the legend.
The very most important key to making sure that we achieve all of our success is accountability. Connie, how do we remain accountable?
I don't know. What does accountability mean to you?
Doing what we say we're going to do.
Does it mean being on time? Showing up early for your showings, for your buyers?
Doing what you're going to do.
Yeah. Accountable person would say, everything in my life is a result of my choices and actions I own in my life. How many changes have you made in your life where you realize because you made that change, you own it? If you went through a difficult struggle, life was better on the other side. So with that, and then, yes. And I'm gonna own this next one because I've never used a clicker in my life.
You're doing great.
Okay, there we go. And the reason we wanted to do that is, was I a victim? Or can I be accountable and take action and make it come out right? And this one here, we each have maybe 1 minute where we can complain and cry and stomp. But if we don't go and become accountable and make that change to a positive in our life, we're always going to be in here. Okay? So to be accountable, you want to seek reality, which is up there on the top. You want, what is the issue? What's wrong? Knowledge, reality. How does living clarity about the issue lead to resolution? Own it, be empowered. How will you use the energy to focus, resolve the issue? Find the solution, Where are the possibility solutions for the issues? And get on with it. And there should be like 5 little boxes that you can fill out. What are the action steps you can take to achieve the solutions and solve the issue? Next one here, this is one that I hit the wrong button there. These are your coaches. That's you. You need a financial coach, which is your CPA, spiritual, physical, business. But once they wrote the One Thing book, if you've read this, on page 114, they've added 3 more. They added personal life, for my key relationships, and for my job. So if you have it on there, these are things that you can go ahead and change to become accountable for your business, for your personal life, to make you. Let's see, the next one is here. If you have a coach, what's the coach gonna ask you? How many of you have coaches? Okay, do they ask you these questions? What was your goal? How many houses did you want to sell in the first quarter? Did you make that first quarter one? How did you do it? How do you feel about not making your goal or making your goal? Based on how you did, what is your goal and what do you need to know now? And then you can either go to, is there anything that might keep you from doing that? If you need training or support to do this, what might it be? So you can reach out to any one of us in the leadership group to get that help for it. And we also have available not only the One Thing book, but we have all the books here that are non-scary. And not on Kelly's reading list, not today.
Ready ones we have here too.
And they're available at the front desk if you guys need them. So there's a lot of resources here, a lot to reach out, and a lot of us who can help you change all this in your thinking.
Thank you, Connie. So can we all give our leadership team a huge round of applause? If you want more information on these 6 personal perspectives, please reach out. If you found yourself struggling with one of the perspectives that somebody has spoken about, find that person, sit down with them and say, can you consult me on this? We are here for you. We want to serve you, support you, guide you to the best of our ability. And I thank you for sharing your time with us. I know we went over, and that's one of the things that I know that it should happen, and that's on me because I talked too long. So I appreciate you all. Please go help more people achieve their goals in real estate so that you can achieve goals for your family in real estate as well. I
And get a 250 cupcake.
250 cupcake. Go grab a cupcake, everybody. Thank you all. Red Day. That's great.
And sign up for Red Day.
Can I get?
That's so stupid.
I just forwarded it.
You look good. You look good.